guys, welcome to my first speed build. So right now I'm building in Newcrest. Usually when I was playing the game before I created this YouTube channel, I was basically just going into the gallery and downloading homes and then adjusting them as need be, but I love watching speed builds, and later on in the game I started building some of my own houses when I couldn't find one that was fitting the aesthetic of the sim that I had made. This one was a little different because I had an idea for what this house was going to be, and initially I made this like a very big 2-story barn house construction type house, and it just wasn't working. The lot's very small. We're on Oak Alcove, and it's just a very small 20 by 15, I want to say, lot, so it wasn't really big enough for like an old barn house reconstruction type house. I think I'll try that again, probably on a different lot. But then the story that I came up with this one was that, you know, this little old lady had lived in this one small part of the house, like this part that I'm working now that goes from here just all the way back, like that was the whole house on Newcrest. And she had this land that had an outhouse and everything on it. And then she ended up moving away but still owned the house, living in a nursing home in Strangerville. And that's where she met this young man that always visited the nursing home, and she ended up giving him the deed to the house when she passed away. And so this next part that I'm working on, the structural part that I just added, and that has the 3 columns, this was like the area where the outhouse initially was. And in my mind, I wanted to still have an outhouse, but after I pulled everything out and saw where everything was going and kind of the direction I wanted the backyard to go, I ended up thinking that maybe he had just built this extra add-on, including this little middle part here. I love this idea that he just wanted to keep it very outdoors looking, so he put in all these mirrored screen shutters so that he could still feel like he was outside. That's why there's lots of windows and lots of different kinds of windows. I imagine that he repurposed them from some other place. I really wanted to use the Strangerville windows, but they just have such a hard time being on even numbered grid sizes, so it just didn't work out. But I did like the way that this ended up looking overall. And you see me now, I'm just pulling out kind of the furniture that I think I want in the house. I know most people don't build like this, like they have an idea in their mind and they go room by room and then they choose everything, and you'll see me cut away in a second to, yeah, this is like I've pulled out everything, and I went into all the cheats, and I'm gonna put them down at the bottom to show you kind of where I found everything. And I literally went through the entire catalog, pulled out everything I thought might look good, everything I thought I wanted in the house, and I obviously don't end up using everything, but I just wanted to get an idea of what was available. Here you'll see me messing with the colors, and I know that some of the colors might still be wrong, but I'm just going to go ahead and admit here that I am colorblind, so I know that the columns are green-ish, and the actual wood tones are more like ashy brown-ish. And I'm adding ish because I could be totally wrong, and you can leave a comment down below being like, no, you're stupid, that's a whole different color. But again, I'm colorblind, so I did the best that I could when I was matching the colors. And then I just decided I'm going to just stand strong and say it was an intentional choice to mix colors, because he's just that type. Like, he likes the colors, he wanted the colors, we had the colors, we added them, done. Also, I love the look of wood and the river rocks together. I think that it's gorgeous, and I just at the back I added some more details to where this area is, because I wanted to have columns kind of separating the siding from where the river rocks were. And so I ended up adding in these columns. Again, that didn't quite match the foundation, but again, in my mind, he was repurposing wood he found from other places. So in his mind, he doesn't really care that everything isn't very matchy-matchy, because he is colorblind too. So yeah, now I'm just gonna go in and start furnishing the house. I did put some of the things in the places that I wanted them, and then some I adjusted. Like this here, I moved the couch so it kind of fit in that little nook, and I wanted to use that nook for something, so I ended up making it a little laundry area. And he just has a washer in there. I thought about doing a washer and a dryer, and then I really like the idea of him having the dryer outside. And you can see a lot of the pieces are older. Like he still has the gramophone, he still has those Tiffany lamps. He kept a lot of this little old lady's things in the house and just repurposed them or put them in different places, and just wanted to keep her essence but also infuse a little bit of himself into it. And the hardest time I had with him doing this was in the kitchen. I really wanted to make it a very, very minimal kitchen, and it did not end up working out. The things that I had in there didn't really mesh very well, and I ended up just making it a little bit more traditional and just keeping the wood-fired stove and updating the rest of it, which seemed a little bit more believable to me. Like he kept a lot of the old things that she had, but had to make a kitchen that was functional for him. And one of those things would be to just have proper island, proper cooktop, everything like that. So I do end up giving him some counter space, but just keeping this wood fire stove. But you can see like he doesn't add the cabinets up top. Like it's just a very small, very minimal kitchen, but it works for him because he lives alone, and it's fine. I love these pieces from Laundry Day that I had though, and I definitely will do another type of build where that's a majority of the kitchen. I'll just have to make it, I think, a little bit wider to be able to fit an island in there where they can do cooking. But other than that, I do truly love the kitchen, and I like the way that this turned out. And now here you're gonna see me mess with the way that this whole layout looks. I love the way that it looks, and I love the overall feel of everything, but it was feeling very empty to me. It was only this set-in couch and then this armchair to the side, and I just felt like it needed more seating, but it looked odd just to have a random couch in there. And so now you can see I'm trying to figure out a way to separate out the kitchen from the living area, and I just ended up having a wall with a spandrel to separate it out, and you'll see that happen. I did play test everything, so everything does work. There are a couple of things I had to get rid of, like the hanging lamp in that dining area. For some reason, it just wasn't working. They said when they updated that those extra bits that you found, your sim would just walk through, but some of them they don't. Like that piece, like they can't walk under it, no matter how high up it is. So I ended up just having to get rid of it, which is really sad because I like that piece. But I ended up adding fans in all the rooms because he doesn't have a thermostat. He spends a lot of his times outdoors, and he doesn't want to waste a lot of energy, so he doesn't have air conditioning or anything. So yeah, I added in these other two armchairs and kind of made a little bit more of a cozy living area. I wanted him to have more seating because he doesn't have a TV, he doesn't have a computer. His main forms of entertainment are either reading or having friends over, and so I wanted him to have an area where he could invite a lot of friends over to hang out. this is the part where I thought I would do an outhouse style, and it wasn't working the way that I wanted to, so I ended up just giving him a proper bathroom. I do end up liking the overall look of the bathroom, but again, I think I will do another build probably in Strangerville that has more of that outhouse feel. But I do love the way that these rooms ended up turning out. There's a lot of warm tones, a lot of warm colors, just because I feel like that's his vibe. And with the sink and the tub, I kept it as if he had kept the sink and the tub from the outhouse. So it's like these wooden pieces that are built into the wall, and the only thing I feel like he would upgrade is the toilet, although I really did want him to have a compost toilet. I haven't downloaded or bought Island Living yet, but when I do, I'm just waiting for it to go on sale, and when I do get it, I have this vision in my mind of a place that I went to in Nicaragua that had really beautiful hotel rooms with showers in them, but the actual bathrooms themselves were compost toilets that everyone shared, and I want to make a build like that. Like, that's what I had kind of in my mind when I was building this. But now I'm going into the backyard space, and the backyard space I think is my favorite, mostly because he really likes being out in the backyard, so I wanted to give him a place that was very open, very vibrant, and had a lot of the things that he loved. So there's, a little vegetable patch where he grows his vegetables. There's a little area where he paints. And that thing got used pretty quickly. I think he had a friend over when I was playtesting it, like that very first day. And his friend created this gorgeous painting that I thought that he would love. So when I go through the main house, you'll see that painting, which is just, it's so pretty. There's a couple of other things I pulled out, like this table I had pulled out from the show live edit objects, but the chairs didn't go around it the same way, so I ended up finding a different table. The wheelbarrow that's underneath that trellis right there is also from that, which there's a wheelbarrow that's in the regular catalog, and then that wheelbarrow specifically that's in the live edit objects like debug menu, and I really loved it. And then these stepping stones that I'm adding are also from that menu, so you can see me pulling them out and creating little walkways to everywhere that he would go, like his little vegetable garden, his outdoor seating area, and then his line dry area. I ended up moving the wheelbarrow and just putting the easel underneath it. It creates such a lovely look, and put some candles out there, and he enjoys painting out there. Honestly, it's like if I had an outdoor space, that's what I would want it to look like, and it's so gorgeous. So if you end up wanting to download the actual house itself, I'm going to put my origin ID at the end so that you can find it, but you'll have to turn on move objects on because I do a lot of adjusting and laying things on top of one another, and so some of them might disappear, but nothing is custom content. Like, I made sure to turn off all my custom content, like I unchecked that and then built this, so when I upload it, it won't show up and you won't have to click the custom content button. It'll just show up as like regular in the gallery in my library. So my origin ID will be at the end of the page so that you can look it up and you can download it. So yeah, this is the overall look of the house. I did miss one wall there that I can see. I do go back and fix that, but I love the overall look of the house. I love the little front porch. I added a little bench and some mishmash of plants out there because I could just see him, really liking being outdoors. I added some skateboards to the wall because, again, I could see him being that type of guy, and you can see the fans everywhere. The backyard is honestly my favorite. It's one of the most beautiful things ever. I think that if I had a backyard, this is what I want it to look like. So you can see him kind of in the back with his little dreads, painting his little painting. He's such a fan. He's a fan of his garden. He's already grown some things. This is his kitchen. Nice, small, everything has that blue-brown theme. You can see some of the old pieces that he kept from the lady that he inherited this house from. So yeah, I love the overall look and feel of the place. It just feels really warm, really inviting. You can see him again. He's just hanging out there. He's paused. That's why he's chilling, like hanging out. But yeah, I love the overall look of the place. You can see the little herbs he grows on the wall. And these little lights that I imagine that he hung himself. They're the little mason jar lights. And I know everyone has those downcast lights everywhere to really brighten up rooms. I didn't feel like he would do recessed lighting, and I don't actually like the look of that in my game. This is the painting I'm talking about. One of his friends drew it. But yeah, I don't like the look of the recessed lighting, so pretty much everywhere I have either lamps or candles or something like that, which lights the whole place. I like the look of that so much better. So yeah, this is the overall blueprint. You come in to the front area and you walk right into this very inviting living room. You have this cute little kitchen, my favorite room, this little dining area. The bathroom is pretty spacious, but very functional. And then it goes into this very, very lovely backyard. I think I mentioned this, but I did play test everything. He can access everything. I did have to delete a couple of things and move things around while I was playtesting, but the playtested version is the one that will be online on Origin for you guys to download, because that's the one that has all the adjustments. But yeah, this I'm just showing you at night with all the candles in the back. Like, I'll show you the front of the house. It's very dark, but the inside is lit by lamps or is lit by candlelight. And so I don't know. I think it gives the house such a romantic look. Especially in the backyard. It's so pretty, and to be out there at night and painting the little candles, it's just gorgeous. I really enjoy the backyard. So yeah, that's the house. If you like this, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe.